Today, I want to take a deep dive into Etsy listing stats so you know what they mean for you and your business, how to use them to improve and grow. So stay with me. Don't get your eyes glazed over, because I know when we talk about stats or stats class or geometry or calculus or algebra, your eyes glaze over and it's not useful. This, I can assure you, will be useful. The better you understand this, the more you can leverage it to grow your business. Let's dive in and I'll show you. All right, so the first step of stats is getting there. How do you get there? So basically, you would pick a listing and you would hit the little gear icon here, and then we're going to go to view stats. And this will bring up all of the listing stats for a particular listing that you want to look at. So the first option you have is you can view stats all time. You can view it today, yesterday, 7 days, last 30 days, this month, this year, last year, all time, custom. So these are useful. I would suggest not looking at it like today, yesterday. Things change, so you need to pick a window of time to look at your stats to really get a good idea. 30 days is a good time, or a renewal cycle, which is 4 months, I think is a good time. If you're actually wanting to see how your listing is doing for a certain block of time and then use that information to make changes to better improve that listing, you need to have it on a block of time. If your window of time is a week, 2 weeks, that's just not long enough. So if you're looking at stats to make changes, I would do at least 4 to 8 months. But we're going to leave this all time just so we can see a good data set of stats in here. This listing, you can see all time, 104 visits, 2 items sold. The revenue is $950, so not a very expensive item, but we can kind of see how this has performed. Actually, not bad when you're considering the conversion rate. A 1% conversion rate is 1 sale from 100 visits. This has 2 sales with 100 visits, so the conversion rate's 2%. That's not bad. At least a minimum I like to see a conversion rate is 1% or higher. So pretty decent there. Now you'll see the window, it's broken down by visits and orders here for the block of time. So this stuff's good to look at as far as like a snapshot, especially from the visit standpoint, because visits can tell us a lot about the listing and how it's performing. So that is good. Again, from how I look at it from a conversion perspective, that's when I see when I'm going to make changes. That's why it's important to look at it on a longer block of time to see what changes you're going to make. But really, this, scrolling down a little bit further here, this really kind of tells us a lot about the listing and the traffic that we can leverage depending on what we're doing and use it to our advantage. So let's dive into these different traffic sources. All right, so direct and other traffic is basically people coming to your shop or your listings directly via your link. So if you have a blog post or you're sharing out stuff on your website, those people are finding you and coming directly to your shop. So that is something that you do have some control over depending on how you're marketing your stuff. People are finding you and coming to your shop directly, so you can see if those efforts are paying off because they're finding you and they're coming via the link. Etsy app and other Etsy pages. So this is stuff that people are finding on the app. It's showing up to them under specific categories. So it's being shown to them and then they're clicking into it. So you do have some control over this, because if your SEO is good, your stuff is optimized, they're going to be shown more often your stuff under like editor's picks, buy on Etsy app, stuff like that. They're going to be popping up according to someone's feed, according to their past searches, or according to what they have searched for. Currently, it'll show up in there and then they're clicking into your stuff. So again, having optimized, SEO optimized listings and a good performing shop, good reviews, all that stuff kind of plays into how often your stuff is going to be shown and then people are clicking into it. So you do have control over that. Etsy marketing and SEO. This is Etsy basically optimizing all their stuff and it being pushed out to the search engines. So Yahoo, Google, Bing, if someone's searching for something, your listings and or shop could show up in those search results. So this is showing you how often it's showing up and people are clicking into your stuff. Again, SEO does play a part in this. So because if your SEO is good inside and outside of Etsy, it'll be pushed out to the search engines when people are shopping for something or looking for something specifically. So this is where the traffic is coming from. And it also shows that Etsy is optimizing the stuff so it's being shown more often to people to click in. So that is good too. Now, Etsy search, a little bit different than Etsy app and other Etsy pages, because this is stuff that people are actually searching for that's showing up. So this really tells you, is your SEO dialed in? Are people finding you from search specifically? If they're typing in gold pendant necklace, is your stuff showing up if you sell a gold pendant necklace and they're clicking into it? So that tells you a lot about how your SEO is doing and how people are finding you from search. Social media, pretty straightforward. If you have your stuff, you're sharing it on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're sharing it from, Pinterest, it will show up here as coming from social media. And then the last one, so just to backtrack, social media, to kind of, you can track your efforts too, right? Or how many people are coming, how many people are buying, so it helps you track your efforts there. Etsy ads, if you're advertising inside of Etsy, how many people are finding your stuff and clicking into it from Etsy ads. Now, there's a whole Etsy ads dashboard. That's really what you should be looking at if you want to see how your stuff is performing from Etsy ads. Look at the Etsy ads dashboard. Now, these search terms, these could come in handy. If you're getting a lot of visits from specific search terms, that'll tell you, okay, those search terms are pretty good. You may want to use those search terms in other listings where it applies to. So keep that in mind. That could be valuable information here. Nothing really stands out as far as this. There's only like one, but if I went in here and I had like 20 or 30 on one search term, like, okay, can I put that search term in other listings where it applies to? Because I'm getting a lot of traffic off of it, so that's good. Now, social media, this is kind of an extension of this social media up here. It kind of breaks down where your social media is coming from. So if I'm doing a lot of stuff on Facebook and Pinterest, and I'm only getting traffic from Facebook, it's like, okay, the Pinterest isn't working for whatever reason. So maybe I need to tweak that. Or maybe I just need to focus only on Facebook because that's where people are coming from. Do more of what's working, right? But it helps break out the totals for your specific social media so you can see if what you're doing there is working and is paying off. Favorites, this just sees your number of favorites you're getting. That's really a vanity metric. Favorites, it's cool if people favorite stuff, but a lot of people favorite stuff and don't buy it. So yeah, it helps with the engagement. It helps with your ranking and stuff like that. So it's good that people do favorite stuff. But as far as us taking action on the favorites, there's not a lot we can really do from there. But that's pretty much it. Those are the stats. That's an overview of all the stats, what they mean, how you can leverage them, how you can impact them, and how you can use that information to basically make changes and make improvements in your individual listing. Hopefully that helps.